Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday morning, July the 20th. We've had an active weather pattern across the eastern half of the nation over the past couple of weeks. And indeed, it looks like an active time period for the Mid-Atlantic region from later tonight into about midday on Friday. We have a combination of ingredients. First of all, there is a potent system crossing the Great Lakes later today. That system is supported by a very strong upper-level jet stream. There's also a frontal boundary zone that will kind of slide a little bit to the south over the next couple of hours and then advance to the north as a warm front through the Mid-Atlantic region later today into tonight. At the same time, these systems are closing in on the Mid-Atlantic region. There's plenty of available moisture around, all kinds of low-level moisture to tap into by the atmosphere. The result will be an increasing chance of showers and thunderstorms in the overnight hours into the early morning hours on Friday, and certainly there can be some heavy downpours and some strong thunderstorm activity, especially in that time period, I believe, from about midnight to noon in that D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City corridor. Have to watch out for the possibility of some flash flooding late tonight, tomorrow morning. First of all, let's start off by taking a look at the latest Storm Prediction Center probability outlook for severe weather. They have, I think correctly so, increased to the east this threat of severe thunderstorm activity all the way into Philadelphia, western and northern part of New Jersey. Yesterday was kind of confined to the western part of the Mid-Atlantic region. They have moved this farther to the east, and it may even move a little bit more to the east. I think in the overnight hours, there's a chance of some strong to severe thunderstorm activity in the Mid-Atlantic region, really all the way to the I-95 corridor region. Now let's go into the day on Friday, and here we go. That extends pretty much throughout that D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City corridor. Again, we're talking about the threat of severe thunderstorm activity. On Friday, this is primarily, in my opinion, going to be in the morning hours. Again, that time period from about midnight tonight to about noon on Friday is the time period of concern for heavy downpours in this part of the nation, along with the possibility of strong to severe thunderstorms. Well, let's kind of walk through a lot of surface maps and upper air maps over the next few minutes here, and we'll talk about the ingredients involved with this potential active weather for the Mid-Atlantic region later tonight into the morning hours on Friday. First of all, we're taking a look here at the surface weather map. Low pressure moving across the Great Lakes right now. This is associated with an upper level trough. It's got an upper level jet streak that is very powerful. We'll take a look at that in the forecast maps in a moment. And notice here a frontal system that is cutting right across the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, the Mason-Dixon line. This front may sag a little bit to the south over the next few hours, but then as this low pressure starts to move to the south and east, it'll help to push that frontal system back to the north as a warm front later today into tonight. That will kind of increase the heating in the atmosphere, and it will help to set the stage for destabilization of the atmosphere late today, and especially into tonight, into the overnight hours. So again, this system will start to advance north as a warm front. At the same time, this potent system at the surface crosses the Great Lakes region later today. And all of this is with a lot of moisture, a ton of moisture in the low levels of the atmosphere throughout the Mid-Atlantic region and the northeastern part of the nation. Well, that was the surface map. Now let's take a look at some upper air forecast maps. We're using the 6Z run of the GFS. And here we begin the day here on Thursday morning with a pretty potent system crossing the Great Lakes. This is a vorticity maxima area right over the central and western Great Lakes as we begin the day here on Thursday. That is an area of rotation in the mid and upper parts of the atmosphere that leads to upward motion down at the surface level. And we'll see as we go through the day today, it drives to the south and east. Again, quite a vigorous little wave here crossing the Great Lakes. This is the forecast map for about 8 p.m. tonight. And in a position like this, with that strong upper level jet streak that we'll see in a moment here, that enhances upward motion right in this region and destabilizes the atmosphere. And again, that should really begin to take place after sunset. This is kind of an unusual setup here. Normally we have our biggest threat of heavy downpours, strong thunderstorms, mid to late afternoon into the early evening hours. This is a little different. I think this is setting up for, again, that midnight to noon time period, late tonight, the wee hours of the morning into the morning hours on Friday. Now, let's move forward here in time, and here we go by late tonight. Again, that system continues to drive to the south and east, enhancing the upward motion right along the I-95 corridor region. We get into Friday morning. Still the possibility of some showers and thunderstorms on Friday morning, especially I-95 and points to the east. This may be the time period for the heaviest rain, for example, in New York City early tomorrow morning. Again, I expect heavy downpours on the table here, so we'll have to watch out for the possibility of some flash flooding late tonight, Friday morning. And that continues to move away, and we actually may be setting up for a decent weekend for a change in the Mid-Atlantic region, with the possibility, pretty much a strong possibility in it now, of back-to-back rain-free days in the Mid-Atlantic region. Comfortably warm, too, not hot. So we actually might have a decent weekend setting up for places like D.C., Philadelphia, New York City on Saturday and Sunday. Likely rain-free days as that system moves off the eastern seaboard. Now notice here, by the time we get to Sunday, the overall pattern, the large-scale pattern, still features high-pressure ridging out over the Four Corners region on hot weather out in that part of the nation, and still features this large-scale upper-level trough. So we're not out of the woods yet in terms of the active weather pattern in the northeastern part of the nation. We may have a break in the action Saturday and Sunday following a lot of activity late tonight and tomorrow. But with this large-scale upper-level trough still in place late in the weekend, humidity is very likely to creep back up again early next week, as with the threat of showers and thunderstorms. That should creep back into the picture as well early next week. Well, we've talked about several ingredients so far contributing to what I believe will be an active weather time period late tonight, early tomorrow, namely frontal system kind of moving to the south and then back to the north, a low pressure area both at the surface and aloft over the Great Lakes, dropping to the south and east. And this is another feature here, very strong upper level jet streak. This happens to be at the 250 millibar level, way up at the top of the atmosphere as we begin the day here on Thursday. Now watch what happens as we push through the day here. It dives to the south and east. This is the early nighttime hours, and then later on tonight. Now we look at different quadrants related to a jet streak, and this particular quadrant here, right in this region, and also in this region of this jet streak that is moving in this fashion, where very strong upward motion can develop. So again, this is leading right into that Mid-Atlantic region later on tonight into the early hours on Friday. This again enhances the instability in the atmosphere. Let's go all the way now to tomorrow morning. There it is, that upper level jet streak. So you have a lot of ingredients coming together that will enhance the upward motion in the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, primarily focused on late tonight and Friday morning. Well, now let's wrap up with the surface forecast maps, again using the 6Z run of the GFS. Primarily a rain-free day here in the Mid-Atlantic region. There's been patchy fog around this morning. That'll kind of fade away, burn off, and partly sunny skies, very warm and humid. Maybe an isolated late day shower or thunderstorm, maybe an isolated early evening shower or thunderstorm, but I believe they become more numerous later on tonight. Again, late tonight into the day on Friday. And here we go. As we start off the evening, this is the 8 p.m. forecast map. Still nothing to speak of around sunset in the I-95 corridor region. Starting to get active, though, western part of the Mid-Atlantic region, certainly the eastern part of the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes. Then we get into the overnight hours, maybe midnight or so. GFS is starting to dump out some heavier precipitation amounts. Again, as it's kind of been typical in this pattern over the past several weeks, North of the Mason-Dixon line, probably a better chance of those heavy downpours. But even, I think, late tonight, early tomorrow, down into the D.C. metro region, there can be some downpours. And we go into the morning on Friday, and there it is, heavy bullseye here of heavy rain amounts right over southeastern PA, western New Jersey. Again, late tonight, the wee hours of the morning into Friday morning. This is also the time period that New Jersey, Delmarva Peninsula, New York City will probably get their heaviest rainfall early Friday morning. And it lingers into maybe midday, and then we start to get high pressure moving in. This is Saturday, most likely a rain-free day in that D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City corridor, and a kind of a repeat performance on Sunday of most likely rain-free, comfortably warm, moderate humidity, both on Saturday and Sunday in much of the Mid-Atlantic region. But then by the time we get to the early part of next week, we'll start to see an increasing moisture pattern again setting up in the eastern third of the nation, and with that will come an increasing chance of showers and thunderstorms. So very active weather coming, I believe, over the next 24 hours or so. Focus on that midnight to noon time period in that D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City corridor. Watch out for the potential of heavy downpours, flash flooding, maybe even some strong thunderstorm activity in that time period. That's it for now for ArcfieldWeather.com. This has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.